Welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Terry Stiles. In this week's news, why was a popular local restaurant suddenly closed? And a local Oxford woman wins a prestigious award.
Stay tuned. Learn more about these stories and others. The Oxford News begins right now. The actions of Nick and Liliana Luca, former owners of Lillys Diner downtown, caused several local moms to lose their jobs, and Nicole Ellsworth lost nearly $30,000. In a verbal agreement in April, Ellsworth agreed to take over the Lillys Diner with a cash payment plan. In April, the diner became 5-1 Diner. Up to August 27th of this year, Ellsworth was a proprietor of 5-1 and grew the business with hard work, sweat, and loyalty from her staff. On the 27th, Ellsworth found the locks changed and an explanation from Nick and Liliana that they had sold the business. She had been maintaining and paying for this business and it was sold to relatives for $80,000.
Hi, Nicole. What's going on here? I see that you're locked out of your building.
Yeah, we've been locked out since Saturday. The guy that has the lease here, his daughter, actually, we were buying the business from them, and they just decided to sell to somebody else. No notice, no warning. They just locked the doors on us and locked us out. So these new people are in there right now, and all of our personal belongings are in there, and they say that they're opening up on Monday, and that just can't happen like that.
Well, do you already have money invested in this? You've been open for a while, right?
Yeah, we have been, and I took over from the owner back in April. So yeah, I have a lot of time and money invested in here, absolutely.
Have you spoken with the owner since Saturday, or did they just lock the door?
Yeah, I spoke with him, and they locked the door, and they're standing behind their decision to keep the door locked and sell to these people that are in there today.
Do you know anything about the people that are there? Who are they? Where did they come from?
They're family members of the guy that has the lease, and it's all a scam. He's done this before, and he'll continue to do it again.
Did you sign any contracts with him?
I didn't. I worked for him for 3 years. When the last manager left, he asked me, "Do you want this restaurant?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And we sat in the booth here in the restaurant, me and my cook, and we decided that we were in this together and we were going to do it. And I've been paying the property management company directly for the last 3 months, and then I've been paying him weekly good faith payments.
And so how many employees will this affect? How many people are out of work as of Saturday besides yourself, and not beside yourself, but with yourself?
15.
And they're all local people?
All local people. A couple of my waitresses are over there. Cooks, dishwashers, and then they refuse to give me any of my paperwork that's in there, so we don't even know how much money that the employees are owed, so I couldn't even begin to try to make things right with them because I have no paperwork. It's in there. And they claimed to one of my waitresses that they were going to pay them today, and they're nowhere. They say that they should get the payment from me.
And so what do you hope to accomplish today or in the next couple days? I want back in my restaurant, and I want to continue to serve the community. Well, we want you there too, so good luck.
Thank you very much.
To date, Ellsworth has invested over $30,000 to bring the failing business out of the arrears. We will keep you up to date with this story and this progress.
After a hand recount of 13,000 ballots from Oakland County townships, by a handful of votes, John Riley remains the Republican nominee for the state's 46th district seat in the House of Representatives over Joe Kent. Kent agreed to accept the final results and vowed to support Riley for the seat.
Oxford Community Television OCTV is proud to announce Connie Miller, host of our very own locally produced TV program, Connie's Kitchen, will receive a 5-state recognition award at the 2016 Philo Festival of Media Arts in Richmond, Indiana on October 28th. Miller, a volunteer at Oxford Community Television, is the special talent behind the 1.5-hour cooking show featuring unique recipes served to guests on a regular basis at Treetop Lodge in Oxford. The show began in 2014 when Miller wanted to take the fear out of creating easy and great foods in the half-hour time period. Miller shares the award with cameraman and editor Kyle Snage and cameraman Russell Currier. The award-winning episode 20 can be enjoyed each and every week right here on OCTV. Air times are 10:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, on Saturdays from 10:30 a.m. Congratulations to all of you, all three. You're well deserving.
The Oakland County Coroner has positively identified the body found in the wooded area along Hummer Lake roads last week as 63-year-old Teresa Adams. Adams was first reported missing on August 5th when she walked away from an Oxford Township group home. Police say the coroner was not able to determine cause of death. However, based on the lack of evidence, they do not suspect a crime was committed. Relatives have been notified.
Beware, there is a person or persons attempting to heist air conditioners right out of your very own window. Last week, a woman informed police someone tried to steal her window air conditioner from her Hosner Road home while she was in the house. The resident told officers she noticed the air conditioner had been wiggling from the sill, so she yelled out she was going to call the police. The air conditioner stopped moving and she heard someone running away from her home. Officers searched the area and talked to neighbors, but no one saw or heard anything suspicious. All the information was put into the police record file and for future reference.
That's it for Oxford News this week. If you want to learn more about these stories and others, stop by your local store and pick up a copy of the Oxford Leader newspaper, or better yet, catch us right here at OCTV Charter Channel 191 and AT&T Channel 99.
And coming up next on OCTV, Oxford Sports with Jamie Hughes, and also catch Oxford School News with John Ochins. And don't forget Auto Talk and Science in the News with Dave Kenny.
I'm Terry Stiles, and this is Oxford News This Week, where we bring your news closer to home.
And I'm Elgin Nichols. Remember, always be kind to your friends and neighbors. And thanks for watching.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication New Scientist. In our first story, Bennu or bust. On September 8th, the OSIRIS-REx probe left Earth for the asteroid Bennu and will return with souvenirs, up to 2 kilograms of material from its surface. OSIRIS-REx will pioneer an ambitious technique for gathering samples, a robotic arm equipped with a vacuum cleaner. It's due to arrive at Bennu in August of 2018. Entering a complex orbit around the asteroid, OSIRIS-REx will map its surface and measure its gravity, revealing how the mass inside Bennu is distributed. Radar observations have shown that Bennu is about 510 meters at its widest, and that it's probably a rubble pile asteroid rather than a solid rock with a texture like compacted styrofoam. This means its gravity is low, making landing difficult, but it also makes it easier to take samples. After about a year of studying Bennu's surface and selecting the best spot to sample, OSIRIS-REx will swoop to within a few meters of the object, extend its robotic sampling arm to touch the surface for about 5 seconds, and suck up between 60 grams and 2 kilograms of rocks and dust, depending on the texture and stickiness of the grains. Once the sample is collected, the probe is set to continue making observations from orbit until 2021. Then, when our planet and Bennu are well placed for an easy return, OSIRIS-REx will retrace its steps and return to Earth in September of 2023. The capsule containing the sample is planned to land in Utah. Bennu is a near-Earth asteroid, meaning its orbit crosses Earth's, and it passes relatively close to us about every 6 years. It poses no immediate danger, but might end up on a collision course with us in a few centuries from now, especially since light from the sun nudges the asteroid's orbit over time. Measuring this effect at Bennu will help us understand how sunlight can alter asteroids' orbits and evaluate the risk they might pose, and work out if we could one day steer them away using the same technique. Great. And still in space, one of the greatest space exploration stories of recent times has finally got a happy ending. The Philae lander, thought to be lost after its botched touchdown on Comet 67P Churyumov-Gerasimenko in November of 2014, has been found. Images taken by the orbiting Rosetta spacecraft on September 2nd reveal that its marooned companion is wedged against a dark cliff on the comet's surface, just as mission managers at the European Space Agencies had suspected. The find comes just weeks after Rosetta is expected to make its own landing on the comet, ending the successful 2-year mission. Philae's rough location has been known since June of 2015, when the lander unexpectedly woke up and briefly resumed radio contact. Pinpointing its landing site will give mission scientists the context needed to fully understand the data it sent back. Good news. And on the medical front, an antibody has significantly reduced levels of beta-amyloid protein in people with Alzheimer's disease, spurring hopes for a new class of drugs that can treat the condition. Aducanumab is a drug based on an antibody discovered by comparing the blood of healthy older people with Alzheimer's disease. Tests on mice with a genetically engineered form of Alzheimer's found that this drug can enter the brain and reduce levels of beta-amyloid, the plaque-forming protein that is associated with the disease. Now, a 54-week safety trial involving 165 people with mild symptoms has found that monthly infusions of the drug reduces levels of beta-amyloid in the brain when compared with a placebo. Higher doses were associated with a greater reduction in the protein and with slower mental decline. No existing treatments for Alzheimer's directly interfere with the disease process, so a drug that actually slows the progress of the disease by clearing amyloid will be a significant step, said James Pickett at the Alzheimer's Society. Current treatments can reduce symptoms to some extent, but doctors have nothing that can halt or slow progression of the disease. But to know for sure if reducing beta-amyloid has an effect on Alzheimer's symptoms, larger trials of aducanumab are needed, says Pickett. These are already underway and are due to finish in 2020. I am cautiously optimistic about this treatment, but trying not to get too excited because many drugs make it through this early stage of testing and then go on to fail in larger trials, says Tara Spires-Jones at the University of Edinburgh, who was not involved in the study. Well, good luck with the study. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to the Oxford Wildcat School Update. The Michigan Department of Education released their M-STEP test results a few days ago. Oxford kids mostly showed gains over last year. In grades 3 through 8, math and language arts were up slightly, science proficiency down about 5%. The 11th grade kids showed an increase in science proficiency and a slight decrease in social studies. Compared to the state, our kids were overall about 14 points above average. Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction Ken Weaver says they will zero in on improving science proficiency this school year for the younger students. Oxford Virtual Academy opened the doors to their new addition over at the Village Marketplace. Janet Shell's the principal there, and she tells us more.
Families are coming in, looking at our new space. It's about 3,000 square feet. We have workspace. We have 3 live session rooms over here, as you can see. New office space here and administrative offices. We have student workspaces in here for our K-5 students. They're going to be offering online hours as well as hours for the students to come in and work with Mrs. Herford and Mrs. Wanachek and Mrs. Boggs. So we're really looking forward to a great year.
The new space about doubles the size of the facility over there. One of the students taking advantage of the OVA is young Carter Quell. He's in a 4th, 5th grade split there. His needs are rather unique. His mother Kim explains.
Carter was born with a cyst in his brain, on the right side of his brain, and everything is all there except for it's all squished back. And so all that pressure in his brain was causing him to have some strange actions, and some things happen within his body that he really didn't have control over. And sitting in a school, in a desk, in a chair, it just didn't work for Carter. So we had to seek alternate options, and at one point we actually did pull him out of the seated school, and we homeschooled him, not through OVA, but we tried to homeschool them on our own, and we did our best, but it wasn't the best. And Carter certainly needed one-on-one.
And things are working out well here.
Yes, and so we found OVA as an option, and it has worked out tremendously. It has given us options that we weren't aware that existed.
Carter says he wants to be an architect when he grows up. The Oxford Crossroads School is up and running. We caught up with new principal Guy Cocasetta about the difficulty in bonding with kids who are there for short periods of time.
And I think it's not only it's one of the weaknesses of a placement like this, but it's also a strength because a kid sitting in a youth home or an incarcerated type situation doesn't have the resources that we provide. So a kid, even if he's here a month or 3 weeks, still the educational process does not stop with that child compared to a fully incarcerated type setting. And it also lets them earn credits and lets them continue their education where they left off, whatever happened, and they can continue when they leave here as well.
Things are full up over at the Oxford Early Learning Center. We checked in with Pat Mueller.
All of the elementary schools, Clear Lake, DA, Leonard, and here at OE, are full with our extended day program. And we're looking for teacher assistants. For the first time in quite some time, we're really in the market to look for some teacher assistants. People who have an affinity for working with young children and even school-age kids, and who are looking for part-time positions.
If you're interested in one of those part-time posts, give Pat a call at 248-969-5082. Several new playgrounds are opening up around the district, not least of which is out at Lakeville Elementary, where they had a ribbon cutting the other day. Barbara Massey is head of their parent organization. She tells us more.
Honestly, we started our fundraising back in March of last school year, and we finished it up the end of May. That was our goal, is to get it done in 1 quarter, and then we worked with the district to get our purchasing and everything together and set before the end of the school year. And then we recruited our volunteers starting the beginning of August.
What kind of stuff did you do to raise the money?
We had our 100 Club. We had a 100 Club where we asked our families to donate $100 to be acknowledged as part of the build in support for that. And we had over 30 families, part of our Lakeville community, that were 100 Club members. Wow. We also had a Penny Wars, which is the first time our school has ever done that, and we raised almost $2,000 just in Penny Wars, so that was huge for our school. And then we also got some community donations as well.
And we're off and running and climbing and sliding into the 2016-17 school year. That's the Oxford School Update for this week. This is Oxford Community Television, keeping it local.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication Automotive News. In our first story, the GT96 concept car was unveiled at last year's Geneva Auto Show. Its turbine recharging drivetrain delivers 1,030 horsepower. Chinese automotive research and development company Tech Rules has recruited Italian design and engineering partners as it seeks to launch the country's first supercar. Designers Giorgetto and Fabrizio Giugiaro and engineering and production specialist LM Giannetti will help Tech Rules with the development and production of a supercar based on the GT96 concept. The production version of the 1,000 horsepower GT96, which uses a turbine recharging electric power, will debut at Geneva Auto Show next March. LM Giannetti's facilities include the capability for small series production with an initial capacity of 25 units per year. LM Giannetti, founded in 1996, is known for its engineering work on Italian brands, including Fiat, Fiat's Abarth sub-brand, and Alfa Romeo, and more recently in motorsport. The Giugiaro family designed some of the world's most iconic cars for brands such as Ferrari, Bugatti, Aston Martin, and Maserati. Last year, Giorgetto said he was striking out alone when he severed connections with Volkswagen Group after selling the remaining part of his Ital design and engineering company to VW's Audi division. Fabrizio and Giorgetto have set up a new company called GFG Progetti. The GT96 has a turbine recharging hybrid powertrain that uses a microturbine to generate electricity to charge a battery pack. The battery powers motors that drive the wheels. The powertrain's high efficiency means that fewer batteries are needed, saving weight and space, Tech Rules said. Tech Rules has been testing a development prototype of the GT96 at the Silverstone race circuit in England. Initial projections show the production car should accelerate from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 2.5 seconds. Can you say rocket? And on the recall front, Ford Motor Company said it will recall 1.5 million more vehicles for faulty door latches after federal regulators told the automaker that a regional recall announcement in August was insufficient. The recall, including 830,000 vehicles recalled in August, will cost Ford about $640 million and cut its projected third quarter adjusted pre-tax profit by nearly 40%, the company said in a regulatory filing. The action adds 34 U.S. states, several territories in Canada, to the original recall and warned that doors could be difficult to latch or fly open while the vehicle is in motion. It brings the total number of vehicles Ford has recalled since 2014 for various door latch problems to 4 million vehicles. The recall expansion covers the 2012 to 15 Focus, 2013 to 15 Escape and C-Max, and 2014 to 16 Transit Connect, and 2015 Mustang and Lincoln MKC. Those are the same vehicles Ford recalled in August, but at the same time, the automaker said the action was limited to about 830,000 vehicles in states with higher ambient temperatures and solar loading. Ford said the problem had been reported much more frequently in those areas. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, which opened an investigation into the matter in January, disagreed with Ford's decision to exclude vehicles in other states. NHTSA has asked us to expand to 50 states and U.S. territories, so that's what we're doing, Ford spokesman John Congary said. Ford will begin notifying owners of the affected vehicles during the week of October 3rd. The scope of the recall means it could take some time to get enough parts to dealership for all the repairs. We're working with our suppliers to get parts as quickly as possible, Congani said. Ford said the recall relates to a pawl spring in the side door latch that could break, either preventing the door from latching or causing it to unlatch while driving. The company is instructing dealerships to replace the vehicle's side door latches. And at Mazda Corporation said it would recall about 2.3 million vehicles worldwide over potential problems with their rear gates, along with a separate issue involving diesel engines. The Japanese automaker said 2 weeks ago it was recalling about 390,000 vehicles, including the Mazda 3, which is available as sedan and hatchback, and the CX-3 SUV crossover in Japan to fix the damper stays on their rear gates, which may corrode and break if exposed to salt. Mazda said it planned to recall an additional 1.8 million vehicles in overseas markets over the same issue, although it declined to give a regional breakdown. The affected vehicles were produced between December of 2007 and December of 2015. The company also announced a domestic recall of about 110,000 vehicles produced between August of 2014 and August of 2016, including the Mazda 3 and CX-3, over a computer problem with their diesel engines. Well, that's all for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and as always, may the wind be at your back as you cruise down life's highways. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to your calendar of events, where we feature your weekly calendar of local Oxford and Addison community events, including charity special fundraisers and general community information. If you or your organization would like help to get your message out to the public, contact us for detailed information at our studio phone number at 248-628-9658, or you can go to our website at occtv.org. Has the animal census worker been to your home yet? Your pooch will be visited by the Oakland County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center to conduct its annual dog census. Census workers will be going door to door verifying compliance with Michigan state dog law. The law requires all dogs to have a valid license, and they must have received up-to-date vaccinations against rabies. Census workers will be driving marked county vehicles and wearing county uniforms and proper identification tags. For more information, call 248-391-0286. What? You forgot to get your dog a license? Well, if you did, dog licenses are available at the Oxford Township Office, 300 Dunlop Road. Canine Rescue League of Oxford sponsors a dog adoption day every second Saturday of every month. from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Pet and Stuff Harvest Time located at the corner of Drainer and M24. If you're lonesome, I bet there's a furry little friend just waiting for you. Don't be shy. Get acquainted with a new little friend who just wants to make you happy. For more information, just go to their website, dogsaver.org. Are you a veteran of the foreign war? Are you interested in meeting others, former GIs who have similar experiences, and would you like to learn about benefits your country may be offering to you? If you live in Lake Orion, Leonard, Oakland Township, Clarkston, Bloomfield Hills, Auburn Hills, or Rochester Hills, and would like to learn more about your local Veterans of Foreign Wars, VFW, and how you can join the great supporting group of men and women, call Ed Klein at 248-978-6851. Oakland Family Services is a nonprofit human services agency which provides foster care and adoption services to children 5 to 18 years of age. There is an urgent need for more individuals who are willing to open their homes for these children. Intensive training and ongoing support are provided. Just call 248-858-7766 extension 236 for more information. You won't be sorry. Are you the owner of a local Oxford business, and would you like to expand your presence in the community? If the answer is yes, then the Oxford Chamber of Commerce would like you to join their organization. Make new connections and learn things about what may help you run your business through networking, vendor shows, advertising, seminars, and much more. For more information, contact Nicole Sturrett, Chamber Director, at 248-628-0410, or go to their website, info@oxfordchamber.net. If you own a business, belong to an organization, or a local resident wishing to show your support for our school programs, music concerts, or any of the many programs broadcast by OCTV, you could become a sponsor or an underwriter for the station. A promotional spot would be created just for you and continual recognition given to you by our broadcast announcers. It's easy and it's quite inexpensive. For more information, contact our TV station manager, William Service, at 248-628-9658, or you can send a message of interest to his email address, manager@occtv.org. Now, we at Oxford Community TV would like our television viewing public to learn more about your club or organization's special upcoming event. So if you would like to get your special event mentioned on our television show, call us at 248-628-9658, or again, go to our website, occtv.org. Just one final reminder. You can locate our OCTV program schedule by going to our website, occtv.org, that's occtv.org, and clicking on Schedule. There you will find a list of OCTV programs, dates, and times. One program I highly recommend is Bill Service, who always has interesting local stories and interviews of our Community Access program. Check it out. This is Oxford Community Television, OCTV. I'm your host, Elgin Nichols, and we invite you to join us again for the next segment of your weekly calendar of events.